Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update on Litecoin. Right now we're at $81.14. We're down 5%. It's going all around, guys. There's a lot of profit taking happening right now, a lot of fighting between the bulls and the bears, that type of stuff. So we're going to dig into this a little bit today. We're going to look at those upside targets where we could potentially even push up farther. And we're also going to look at those downside targets. Remember, guys, you always want to look at the upside, the downside, and also sideways consolidation can be very important. All right, especially when you're consolidating like on old resistance that's turned support. That's the type of stuff that you want to look for. We're going to dig into some Fibonacci, all that stuff, guys. I'm excited to do it with you. And this has been a heck of an explosion here. I mean, we just bounced right off this 20 EMA and how we've been talking about probably for the past month or so, how powerful that 20 EMA is. I mean, guys, we were even getting overextended here, and you could see the RSI was going down, price was going up, that divergence, you were having all those different types of things, but we did not want to give up that 20 EMA, and also we responded to the whale putting the money into Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin is the driver of this market, guys. I promise you, if Bitcoin would have dropped right here, we probably would have a massive candle to the downside that looked like that. But since Bitcoin broke to the upside, we broke to the upside as well. And I know Litecoin has been leading the market, been helping dig us out of this bear market, but you got to realize we are still tethered or tied to that, to Bitcoin. It just is what it is, and that's the case. And you could see the other coins, how they were exploding as well. We're just going to follow Bitcoin. So let's dig into this, guys. I'm excited to be here with you today. This is amazing for Litecoin, amazing for cryptocurrency. And you know, something that I want to talk to you about real quick, guys, this is something that's been on my heart. I see almost in cryptocurrency this tribalism, and I just don't understand it, how some people, they're just so dedicated to Litecoin, or they're so dedicated to being a Bitcoin maximalist, or Digibyte, or EOS, or Ethereum. And what I don't understand is, I don't care if it's a poop coin, I don't care if it's Dogecoin, whatever leads us out of the bear market, whatever's going to get the market going, a rising tide lifts all ships. And you can read about it in the book that I was reading to you guys about the bear market investment, that these things happen, that once one of these stocks break out, especially like Bitcoin or whatnot, the market's going to want to get moving. You know, EOS could lead us out of it, or Ethereum could lead us out, any of this, but I just don't know why people root for Litecoin to do bad, or people root for Digibyte to do bad, or Ethereum do bad. I want all of them to do well, because that means the coins that I'm in are most likely going to be doing well, especially right now when a lot of the, you know, smaller cap coins have not fully been weeded out. You know, it's exciting, especially for your long-term bags and stuff. When you see a pump like this, that's great. And that's where a lot of guys will hedge. They'll say, okay, I will go short on Bitcoin, like up here right now, pretend this is Bitcoin or Litecoin. Okay, I'm going to go short on Litecoin in terms of my trading bag, but my long-term investment, if I have some locked away, if Litecoin spikes up or Bitcoin spikes up, that's a great day. And that's how you kind of hedge yourself. You know what I mean? And I don't think people really understand that, but I don't understand that in cryptocurrency, the tribalism type deal, with you only have to like this coin or you have to like this coin. Guys, let's root for all of them, and I hope they all go to the moon. You know, that eventually that's what I want, you know. But this isn't the channel to blow smoke and sunshine and say, hey, we're just going to go to the moon all the time and this and that. I'm going to give you the upside, I'm going to give you the downside, and that's what it is. You know, I've listened to too many people who said, hey, you know, hodl, 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 or this or that when we're in a bear market, and that's the worst thing you can be doing. And if you want to disagree with that, you can go against the Encyclopedia Chart Patterns. You can go against the Japanese Candlestick Charting book, Steve Neeson, all these people who are phenomenal traders, Tina Logan, all them. And I'm reading this material and I'm seeing these things, and I was listening to people who were giving terrible advice a lot of the times. And it was my own fault. I take credit for that, but I got into the space early 2017. It was around April or whatnot. And, you know, I got in, things were going great. And even when that blow off top happened, you know, I wasn't a trader at that time, or I didn't really even study the charts. I just got in for the investment. And I looked at that and I said, man, shouldn't I be taking some profits here? And I'll be honest with you guys, I put about $5,000 in, and I saw it go up to whatever, 22 or 25,000, something like that. And at the top, you know, I didn't take profits, and I should have. I'm a 30-year-old guy. That would have helped my life out so much, especially with medical bills for my disease and all the things, my surgery I've went through. And, you know, I didn't do it. I eventually took profits, you know, on some of my coins as we started to drop down farther, and I knew, hey, I'm at least taking my initial investment out at this moment. I'll let some coins that I really have confidence in, let them just ride. I'll hodl those. I think hodling some long-term coins where you just throw them aside, guys, is a great idea, but also have that trading stack. But I didn't have the wherewithal, and it's my fault because I was listening to other people who said they've been in this space since 2013, some 2014, whatnot. I'm going, oh man, they really know their stuff, and this is what they're saying, so I better listen to that. And that's where I said, don't even listen to me. You have to learn this stuff for yourself so that you can do this stuff for yourself. And I apologize for the rant, guys, but I had to get it out there. I just think we should support each other as a community, and also other YouTubers who will tear other YouTubers down and stuff. I just don't get it. You know, aren't we all on the same team? Don't we all want this to succeed? So I just don't get, I don't understand some things, I guess, in the space. But that's life. That's the world. So, guys, I apologize for the rant. Sometimes I'll go on it. But, you know, just forgive me. But, you know, I'm going to say what I have to say. And I'm going to put it out there. So let's dig into Litecoin now, guys. All right. So what I'm seeing here, we respected that 20 EMA. We blasted right off that, okay? And this actually happened on very significant volume. It wasn't like we just blasted up here and it wasn't on a ton of volume. So that's a really strong move. It's a really great move. And also, what you see here, this area, this chunky area here that we were saying is going to be very strong overhead resistance, because it should have been. All right, you're looking at this, guys. We had to move up to here. We came back down, hit it again. You can see all the wicks came back here, hit it again, then we fell. So this is very strong resistance. But, you know, we ended up breaking up through it. But now you're starting to see that wick, and that's the profit taking of those scalpers and those intraday traders and day traders, you know. And now we're starting to get pushed back down a little bit, and we're actually falling back into this area right in here. All right, next thing I wanted to show you as well is these wicks. When this happens, you have to be very careful when you're looking at these, because people will see this and they go, oh, okay, that's a nice candle or whatnot, but the wick's showing that there's profit taking. We couldn't get up above that right now. We made it all the way up to $100, which is amazing, guys. I'm so happy to see that, just overall for the health of Litecoin, for the health of everything. But we went from $100 all the way down to $86, and that shows that that $100 area is probably going to be pretty tough resistance, right? So whenever you break through something, you want to end up turning that into support. So what I'm looking for as a support area is this area right here. So to the downside, that's an area I would love to see us come down to that, consolidate on it, and then move up higher. Higher highs, higher lows. That would be perfect, because it would be healthy for Litecoin. Okay? Just like this, how we broke through that, we came all the way up, guys, and then we just came back down. Unless we consolidate here, you know, with this candle here, if we just started moving sideways, then that's something else. That's something we'll have to look at. But if you see this other candle, this is a pretty nasty candle that's forming. All right. So you see the rejection of the candle there. We tried to get pushed up even higher, right? And then we got rejected, and you can see right now we haven't even had a wick, so that's just profit taking right here. We're getting pushed down, pushed down. We're going to have to see where we close today, because we're getting pretty deep into here. We're penetrating into this other candle right there. All right? So keep your eye on that. It's something that you want to pay very close attention to, are these candles. And what I like to do too is go through like to the 12 hour and then the 8 hour and the 4 hour, and I'll do it with you in a second here. And I also want to point out the RSI. Right now it's at 75. We've obviously seen it higher than that before, but 70 is that overbought territory in traditional markets. Cryptocurrency is not traditional. We could definitely make a move up from here, from the 75 RSI. We could move up to 85, 90. We've seen it before. All right, so that can definitely happen. But take a look at these candles as we progress through. Let's see, we'll look at them together here. All right, so we basically had a little doji candle here, and this is a rickshaw man. If you see that, or the long leg doji right there. So that's showing some signs there, guys, that may have been the blow off top right there. And now what we're having is a bearish engulfing candle of this candle here, this little doji, right now on the 12 hour. So keep that in mind. You see how the RSI is really tucking over now, starting to fall. Let's go down to the 8 hour, see what that's looking like. Okay, this really red stick of volume here, guys, that came on that rickshaw man. So that's something you want to pay attention to. And also how long that wick is with that rejection. And there's that almost like scallop looking. There's a chart pattern, it's called a scallop, and that kind of looks like it there on the RSI. Next one I want to go to is the 4 hour. Alright, so on the 4 hour, guys, we wicked down to this 20 EMA, and then we got bought back up again. We're going to have to see what this candle does, if we're going to drop down onto it, close up above it or below it, because we could also come down here and then get a bounce and come up and try to break past this. But this is a bearish engulfing candle on the 4 hour chart. Alright, and the RSI is just pointing down with increasing bearish volume right now. Okay? Alright, so let's back up out of here again now, and I'm going to get the RSI off. Let's just take a look at a few things. Alright. Okay, guys, so ultimately, this yellow line down here, this is our bull market. It started short term, it went to intermediate term, and now we're trying to get it to a longer term. And this is helping that we had this blast here. We want to find a higher low, and then we want a higher high. Right? So ultimately, this is going to be, we're looking at that as support. Our 200-day, we're going to, hopefully that'll be very strong support. We have our 50 here, and we have our 20. So we have a lot of support below us, which is great. And that's where, you know, we could even come down and bounce off this 20 again and make another move to the upside, all depending on what Bitcoin's doing. Keep your eye out for that. All right? Next thing, we're going to do the Fibonacci. Now, the Fibonacci, where I'm going to take it from, may be different from where some other people take it from, but I'm actually going to go off this little doji candle down here, right there, because I feel like that was the start of this move, where we started going up. Or I'm sorry, hammer candle. It looks like a hammer or a doji candle down there, guys. I'll have to look at that. But right now, you can see the move, though, where we start having higher highs and higher lows, and then we move sideways. That's where I would pull this one from that move right there after we had this big fall here. All right, so, guys, right now we are below the 0.236, so we did not get a bounce off that. Now what we're going to be looking to is this 0.382 at $78.08. We want to look to see if we find support off that. If not, I would be looking down in this area, which would make some sense as well, because that would be the 0.5 around 71.28, and also that 0.618 at $64.47. And this red line too, guys, remember that's where we had all this chunky overhead resistance right there. You know, but this area kind of makes sense, you know, almost around that $63 I think would be a good spot. And remember, I'm not your financial advisor, but if you're looking to potentially buy these back, you just sold or whatnot, I'm going to be looking around that $64, $65, $63 area for a potential buy. But the question with that is, if I'm seeing all the right signs, if the RSI is looking good, if, you know, the Bollinger Bands, all these different indicators are looking, in the volume as well, is looking like we may get a bounce off there. I like to be more conservative. I like to be patient. Some guys are not like that, and that's fine. You know, anybody can do what they want to do with their own money. That's how I think. You know, if it's your own money and you're working hard, do whatever you want to do. If you want to go long right now, go long right now. And in the long term, I'm sure you're going to benefit from it if you hold it, because, you know, guys, $82 for Litecoin, with all the adoption that's happening with it, with all the good things that surround it, you know, this really could, at the top of the next bull market, be over $1,000. It really could. You know, but time will tell. That right now, that's all just speculation. I'm just saying, with how fast this moves and the limited supply of Litecoin, there's so many things that I like about it. At least I know some people don't like Litecoin. I really don't understand it, but it is what it is. So that's where I'm going to be looking at, right in this area, for a potential buyback in. Right there. And guys, you see, I mean, this volume, this comes in so fast and so hard. I mean, you have to be holding a position to be able to take that. So that's why it's good to have those long-term holds in case something like this happens and you do want to sell off and try to catch them on that retracement a little bit so you can profit and make some more. You know, that's the key. That's what I like to do. You know, it's nice when you don't have to go into your bank account to be able to accumulate more Litecoin. It's always a good thing, right? Okay, guys, so next thing I want to look at, we're going to look at the MACD. See how all this is just catching up. We want to see what's going on with these indicators. And we're going to look at the stock RSI as well. Got a few things. It's going to be a little bit longer one today. I want to spend some time with y'all. Alright, so MACD's just looking bullish, just climbing on the histogram there, but we'll have to see if we just start to flatten out. But right now, everything's looking great. Bullish cross, no problem. Alright, let's go to the stock RSI. And tell me what you are all doing. Are you still holding this and just saying I'm going to sell the top, and once we get into a long-term bull market, are you trying to sell them back and forth? What's your guys' plan? What are you up to? All right, so we're at 91 and 69 right now. So we still could run up a little higher. I mean, things get crazy, obviously, in this space. We can get very overextended. But you can see we're kind of getting to that top there. Look at the blue line right here. We fell. Here we fell. Once we get that high, here we fell. You know, typically there's a retracement after you get that high. And then we'll also look at the Bollinger Bands here. And there we are. I mean, we're way up above them right now. So traditionally, guys, unless something weird happens and another whale comes in and says, I really don't care what the indicators looks like, and throws his money in, you know, it looks like there definitely could be some type of correction. Even back down into here would just be perfect, guys. That'd be great. Around that $68, let's see if we find support there. That was hard resistance over here, and we blew through it. So old resistance, let's turn into new support. That's the type of stuff that I look for. So, you know, buying opportunities, what I'm looking at, guys, around that $63. And I can be patient on that. That's just what I'm going to wait and see. And obviously anything can change at any moment. That's what I'm going to look at. Now to the upside, if we do just continue to blast out of here, let's take a look. I would look at, okay, so obviously we got to get back up over this wick, guys, and over the top. But we'd look at that area around that $100. Could be a big area. And then I'll probably look around that 125. And guys, we fell so hard and so fast. That's why we're making this up on the backside. I mean, look at some of these drops. We just fell off cliffs. I mean, just brief little reactions. And that's where even this could be like this. If this is that super bullish, then we could have little reactions like that where we only come back down to the 0.382 or the 0.236 and bounce up again, and then just a tiny one and keep moving. And then you can almost never really catch it. So that's something you want to be aware of as well. You know, if you're a FOMOer and you say, I have to have Litecoin right now, then get you some Litecoin. But if you're someone who can be patient and you can control your emotions and you don't really marry these coins or stocks anymore, then I would definitely wait for a little bit of a cool down, a little bit of a pullback. But we'll have to see what happens, guys. That's my phone. I got to go. Got a message from my other business. So, guys, leave it down low. Like, subscribe if you like what we do here. I apologize for the rant, but I had to get it off my heart there. So, take care.